Hey everyone, it's Kim, back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to answer a very commonly asked question, which is how much should I be spending on Facebook ads? So this is easily one of the most common questions I get from car detailers, especially those offering premium services like ceramic coating, PPF, or multi-stage paint correction. So just a quick introduction, I help detailers specializing in PPF installations and ceramic coatings get more high-paying jobs and grow their business consistently. So back to the question, for short answer, I'd say roughly about 10% of your total monthly revenue is good. So if you're making 20 grand per month, you should be spending roughly 2 grand per month on marketing or advertising. Now let's talk about your ROAS, which means return on ad spend. So ROAS simply means for every $1 you put into ads, how much do you get back in revenue? So if you spend $500 on ads and bring in $1,000 worth of jobs, that's a 2-to-1 ROAS. If you spend $1,000 on ad and you make $10,000, that's a 10-to-1 ROAS. Now, here is where most retailers get it wrong. When they see a 5-to-1 or a 10-to-1 ROAS, they get excited and they stay at the same budget. But in reality, that high of a ROAS usually means you're underspending. So think of it like fishing in a pond full of hungry fish. The pond being your target market, meaning all the potential customers out there. The fish being the paying customers that you can catch, and the net size being your ad spend. So if you were to use a small net, meaning a low advertising budget, you might catch some fishes efficiently, aka having a high ROAS, but you are still leaving a lot of fishes still swimming in the pond. So if you throw in a bigger net, meaning if you raise your ad spend, your efficiency, which is your ROAS, it'll drop slightly because you're reaching less perfect leads now along with the good ones, but you will still walk away with way more fish in total. So that means more customers, more revenue. Now here's why your ROAS usually dips when you increase ad spend. Because with a smaller ad budget, your ads are only being shown to the perfect fit customers, the ones who are actively searching for ceramic coating or PPF, like right now. That's why the results look so efficient. But once you raise your budget, Facebook or Google has to show your ads to a wider pool of people. So some of them might only be interested in basic wash or interior detailing, or maybe they're just curious about pricing. So they're not exactly your exact match, but it doesn't mean that they are bad leads. It just means that your ROAS goes down a little bit. But overall, you're still reeling in way more total clients. And that is what really matters, because that's the whole point of the bigger net effect. So the point is, don't settle for a high ROAS as a win, because if it's too high, it means you're actually underspending and you're missing out on more money. The goal isn't to keep your ROAS at a 10-to-1. The goal is to slowly scale your ad budget until you land around a healthy 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ROAS, because that's where you're reaching more of your market, you're booking more jobs, and then you are maximizing revenue. So let's say you're spending $500 and making $5,000 back. That's a 10-to-1 ROAS, which is great, but that also means you're not reaching as many people as you could. So the smart move is to gradually increase your ad spend. Maybe go to $750, $1,000, and then to $1,500. And until your ROAS comes down to the 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 range. And at that point, even though your ROAS looks smaller, your revenue is actually way bigger. All of this might sound abstract. So, okay, let me give you a simple example. Let's say you have detailer A, and we'll call him Ben. So Ben spends $500 on ads targeting ceramic coating clients. And from that, he brings in 5 jobs and makes $5,000 in revenue. So that's a 10-to-1 ROAS. Sounds amazing, right? Okay. But in reality, His total revenue is capped at $5,000 because his ad spend was so small. Now let's look at detailer B. We'll call him Michael. So Michael decides to invest more and spends $2,000 on ads. So from that, he books 10 ceramic coating clients and generates $10,000 in revenue. His ROAS is only 5-1, which is technically lower than Ben's, but here's the key. Michael's total cash collected doubled Ben's. That's the power of scaling. And at the end of the day, one of the main goals of business isn't to brag about a perfect ROAS. It's to bring in more cash more consistently. And in that sense, Michael is running the stronger business. So here's a general rule of thumb. If your ROAS is below 1-1, either your ads or follow-up system needs fixing. So you need to figure out which one could be your potential bottleneck, and then you have to fix it fast. If your ROAS is 1-1 or 2-1, then you're breaking even or you're making a little profit. And if your ROAS is above 2-1, especially in the 5-1 or 10-1, it's a signal that you should increase your budget until it balances down closer to the 2-1 or 3-1. Because at 2-1, you're likely maximizing out your reach, bringing in the most total revenue and building momentum to scale your business. But with all things, there's a caveat to this, and that is spending more on ads won't grow your business necessarily if you don't have the systems to convert those leads into paying customers. So think of your ad spend like putting water into a bucket. If your bucket is full of holes, meaning if you don't follow up with your leads quick enough, or if you're not retargeting people who have ghosted you, or if you fail to turn inquiries into actual appointments, then that water, which is your money, is just gonna keep pouring out, and you'll end up wasting $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month thinking that Facebook ads don't work. Let me give you a different example. So Ben spends $500 a month on ads and he gets 40 leads, but he's busy working on cars all day, which I know most of you can relate, and only replies to them at night. So, but by that time, most of those leads have either already booked with someone else or, they've ghosted. So he ends up only booking 2 clients and then from that, he thinks that ads don't work. Meanwhile, you have Michael. So Michael also spends $500 a month, but has a system for doing things like automated messaging that goes out instantly, a virtual assistant that calls leads within 10 minutes, and Michael offers a limited time deal to increase his booking rate. And he also makes sure to send 3 follow-up texts over the week to the leads who haven't booked an appointment yet. And with doing all of this, Michael manages to book 8 clients, 4 of which are ceramic coating jobs. So average job value at $1,000 each. Return over $4,000 from a $500 ad spend, which is an 8-1 ROAS. So same ad spend but different back end work. Which is why for a pro tip, it's okay to spend more on ads, but you need a solid system running in the background. In fact, when your system works, you would want to be spending more. So imagine this. You spend $1,000 a month on Facebook ads. You generate 80 leads, you book 15 jobs, 5 are basic, $100 detailing, but the remaining 10 are for ceramic coating at $1,000 each. So that's $10,500 in revenue from a $1,000 in ad spend. Would you do that again next month? Of course you would. And you'd probably scale it up to $2,000 per month and hire some help to manage with the increasing demand. So it's not just about how much you spend. It's about how well you turn those leads into booked appointments. I cannot stress this enough. This is the most important part. Things like, are you calling your leads within 5 to 10 minutes? Are you following up the next day? Do you have a messaging or email reminders in place before the time of your appointment? Do you retarget leads who haven't booked yet? Are you training your closers to sell the value? Because all of these things are essential, and that's where the real money is made. So let's bring all of this together, because now the real question isn't just how much should I spend on Facebook ads? It's also how prepared am I to handle the leads generated from my ads? Because if your follow-up is slow, your systems are weak, or your offers are not compelling, then yes, spending $2,000 a month would feel like a waste. But if you have the right back-end systems, like a fast follow-up, a consistent reactivation, retargeting, and a strong sales process, then yes, absolutely, even a $2,000 ad spend can easily turn into $10,000 or $15,000 or more in booked jobs. But at the end of the day, ads are just fuel, because that's the thing that's going to build and scale up your business, is still having a solid system. So here's the takeaway. You start with 10% of your revenue as your ad budget. Okay, that's good. You fix the holes in your bucket first, meaning make sure that no leads would slip through the cracks. Now, once your system is working, don't be afraid to scale. Try to scale your advertising budget into getting a 2-to-1 ROAS or 3-to-1 ROAS, like I've previously mentioned, because the detailers who win aren't the ones who spend the most money. They're the ones who know how to turn every single lead into booked appointments, high-ticket booked appointments. And when you get this right, ads are no longer an expense. They become the engine that drives predictable and repeatable growth in your business. So, as usual, just in case you're still struggling to get clients, and if you can't figure out how to book more appointments, then you could click on the first link in the description if you prefer professional help. It's gonna lead you to a video of me showing you how my company can help solve your appointment booking problem. So you can expect a funnel designed to sell you something. I'm not gonna pretend that it's not. You don't have to click if you don't want to. I don't really mind, because I'm only here to help you. So if you like the video and if you think it was helpful, there's a button for that. It would be nice if you could click on it. Comment any video ideas or requests you might have, and subscribe if you want more content that keeps you engaged to the end. Thanks so much for sticking around and watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.